Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today, we are going to be diving into the contributions of Muslim scientists.
Okay.
And I am really excited about this one.
Yeah.
Because we've got this booklet
Right.
called Muslim Scientists and Their Contributions, a very brief booklet.pdf.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
just glancing through this thing, it looks
amazing.
It is going to be chock full of all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks like we are mainly going to be focusing on discoveries from like the 8th to the 12th centuries.
Right.
But it looks like there are a few exceptions to that.
Yeah, a couple later.
Yeah. So, but I mean, this booklet covers mathematics, astronomy, medicine, chemistry, optics, philosophy, like all kinds of stuff. You ready to dive in?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. So, right off the bat, this booklet highlights Al-Khwarizmi as like a principal figure in early Arabic mathematics. And I knew he was important, but get this, he's the reason.
We have the number 0 and the decimal system.
I mean, it's hard to even imagine like trying to do any sort of complex calculations with like Roman numerals or something. You know? I mean, Al-Khwarizmi's decimal system. I mean, it just revolutionized mathematics. You know? Being able to represent any number with just 10 digits.
Right.
It paved the way for everything from like, you know, advanced algebra to eventually modern computing.
Yeah, it's like he laid the foundation for the digital age without even knowing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of foundations, let's move on to Jabir Ibn Hayyan, often called the godfather of modern chemistry. He developed techniques like distillation and crystallization, which are still used in labs today. And he even prepared acids like nitric, hydrochloric, and sulfuric acid.
I mean, those are things we...
Absolutely. Those are essential chemicals. You find those in everything from like manufacturing and research to even some household cleaners and things like that. Yeah. And what's so fascinating about Jabir Ibn Hayyan is that, you know, he was one of the first to really emphasize like experimentation and systematic observation in chemistry. Which was, you know, a radical departure from kind of the more mystical approaches of the time. So he really helped set the stage for chemistry as like a distinct scientific discipline.
So from the building blocks of math to the foundations of chemistry, these scientists were like shaping entire fields. But what about medicine? I'm ready to be amazed by what doctors were doing back then.
We'll get ready to be amazed by Zakariya Al-Razi, known as Rhazes, in the West. And he was a true giant in the world of Islamic medicine. And his book, Al-Haitham, meaning the comprehensive book, was a 20-volume encyclopedia of medical knowledge.
Whoa. 20 volumes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of medical.
That's a lot of expertise.
Expertise for one person.
Yeah.
What kind of groundbreaking stuff was he doing?
So Al-Razi was a pioneer in clinical observation. He was the first to recognize the pupil's reaction to light.
Oh, wow.
And he even used animal gut for sutures.
Interesting.
You know? I mean, it might sound a little primitive today, but at the time it was a huge advancement in surgical techniques. He was also a proponent of using opium for pain relief. Essentially like introducing anesthesia centuries before it became common practice.
It's incredible how these early physicians were figuring out things that are still relevant to medicine today.
Absolutely.
And it makes you realize how much we owe to their observations and innovations.
Right. And speaking of influential medical figures, we can't forget Ibn Sina, known as Avicenna, in the West. And his book, Al-Qanun fil Tib, or Canon in Latin, was like the medical textbook.
Wow.
For centuries.
Really?
Yeah. It was translated into numerous languages and used in universities across Europe.
So not only was he like a brilliant physician, but he was also influencing how medicine was taught for generations. It's a pretty impactful legacy.
It is.
What were some of his specific contributions?
Well, Ibn Sina was a proponent of using clinical trials. And he emphasized the importance of hygiene and a balanced diet in maintaining health. He also made advancements in practical procedures, like using catheters and intravesical injections.
Wow.
It's amazing to think about how his work from over 1,000 years ago is still informing medical practices today.
Okay, so we've got mathematicians, chemists, and physicians who were clearly ahead of their time.
Yeah.
But what about other areas of science?
Okay.
Did these Muslim scholars make an impact in, say, physics?
They certainly did. Let's talk about Ibn Al-Haitham, known as Al-Haitham in the West.
Okay.
And his book, Kitab al-Manazir, revolutionized our understanding of light.
Okay.
And, back then, people believed that light emanated from the eyes.
Really?
It seems kind of silly now.
It does, yeah.
But that was like the prevailing theory.
Wow.
It's hard to imagine seeing the world that way.
It is, yeah.
So how did Ibn Al-Haytham change all that?
Yeah.
Well, he conducted groundbreaking experiments.
Okay.
Carefully observing the way light reflects and refracts.
Okay.
And he built a pinhole camera, which helped demonstrate how images are formed.
Yeah, right.
And he even went so far as to declare that light is a form of energy.
Wow.
This was a radical idea at the time, and it laid the foundation for future discoveries in physics.
So he basically upended
pretty much
centuries of thinking about light and vision.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It seems like these Muslim scientists weren't afraid to challenge the status quo and come up with their own theories.
Exactly. And that spirit of inquiry and innovation is a common thread that we see throughout this period. And, we've only just scratched the surface of the contributions made by Muslim scientists during this golden age.
Okay.
You ready to meet some more fascinating figures?
Absolutely. This is like a crash course in scientific history, and I'm eager to learn more.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's keep this deep dive going.
Okay.
Right, so let's delve a little bit deeper. Okay.
Into this golden age of scientific discovery.
Yay.
And this booklet introduces us to Abu Ishaq al-Kindi, known as Al-Kindis in the West.
Okay.
And he was quite the polymath, earning the title Philosopher of the Arabs.
Philosopher of the Arabs. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And he made some pretty significant contributions to physics.
Okay, so what kind of physics were they exploring back then?
Well, Al-Kindi was a man of diverse interests.
Okay.
His work spanned music, meteorology, and optics. He was fascinated by the reflection of light.
Okay.
And he even explored music from a scientific perspective.
Interesting.
Studying the mathematical relationships between notes and intervals.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me of how people are using algorithms today.
Right.
To compose music.
Totally.
Like he was anticipating
the
intersection of art and technology centuries ago.
Yeah.
This booklet is really full of surprises.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, who's next on our list?
Okay, so next is scientific pioneers.
We have Al-Battani.
Okay.
An Arab astronomer and mathematician.
Okay.
And he really pushed the boundaries of astronomy, going beyond the Greeks' metaphysical concepts.
Okay.
And he even introduced the use of signs.
Signs, like from trigonometry.
Yes, exactly, like from trigonometry.
So it seems like they were already doing some pretty advanced math back then.
Yeah.
What makes Al-Battani's use of signs so significant?
Well, Al-Battani was a master of trigonometry.
Okay.
And his introduction of signs revolutionized astronomical calculations.
Okay.
He established the relationship between the sides and angles of a spherical triangle, which was essential for understanding the movement of celestial bodies.
Okay.
And he also made incredibly accurate observations of lunar and solar eclipses.
Oh. And even provided a detailed explanation for the phenomenon of equinoxes.
Wow. He really was like a well-rounded scientist.
Yeah.
It seems like a recurring theme with these Muslim scholars is their ability to connect different fields of knowledge. They weren't just mathematicians or astronomers. They were thinkers who saw the interconnectedness of everything.
You're absolutely right. That holistic approach to knowledge is one of the things that makes this period so fascinating.
Right.
They weren't afraid to blur the lines between disciplines.
Right.
And that's what allowed them to make so many breakthroughs.
Okay. Speaking of blurring lines,
our
next scientist is someone you might know for something other than science.
Okay.
The booklet introduces us to Omar Al-Khayyam, a brilliant mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher. Mm-hmm. But you might recognize his name from his poetry.
Yes. Omar Al-Khayyam, the author of the famous Rubaiyat.
Wait, the poet who wrote the Rubaiyat.
Yes.
He was a scientist, too.
He was.
Yeah.
A man of many talents.
I had no idea. What kind of scientific work did he do?
So Al-Khayyam was a gifted mathematician.
Okay.
He was the first to prove the binomial theorem.
Okay.
And he developed a sophisticated system for classifying algebraic equations.
Okay.
He also had a passion for astronomy.
Okay.
And introduced a new calendar, the Jalali calendar, which was even more accurate than the Gregorian calendar we use today.
Wow.
And if that wasn't enough, he also figured out precise methods for measuring specific gravity.
Oh, wow. It's mind-boggling how these individuals excelled in so many different areas.
Yeah.
They were true Renaissance men centuries before the Renaissance.
Right.
Okay, I'm ready for more. Who else is featured in this booklet?
Let's talk about Abul Wafa Muhammad al-Bajjah, a brilliant mathematician who made significant contributions to the fields of trigonometry and geometry.
Right.
He delved deep into the complexities of spherical trigonometry, developing new techniques for solving problems related to the celestial sphere.
Right.
He even expanded our understanding of the moon's movements, observing variations in its speed and developing a new model to explain these changes.
It's incredible how much this accomplished without the technology we have today.
Yeah.
No telescopes, no computers, just their intellect and the power of observation.
Yeah.
Just imagine the dedication and brain power required to make these discoveries.
Absolutely.
Okay, who else do we have?
So the booklet goes on to describe Ali bin Rabban Tubri.
Okay.
Another one of those remarkable polymaths who seemed to excel in everything.
Yeah.
He made contributions to zoology, psychology, philosophy, and astronomy.
Okay.
He even wrote a book called Firdis ul-Hikmah, which translates to Paradise of Wisdom.
Paradise of Wisdom.
I know.
I love that title.
It's a great title.
It sounds like something I need to add to my reading list.
Yeah.
What kind of wisdom did he share in this book?
It covered a vast range of topics, reflecting his wide-ranging interests. He discussed the nature of the soul, the workings of the human body, the movement of the planets, and even the properties of minerals and plants.
Wow.
It was truly a testament to the breadth of knowledge these scholars pursued.
Okay, so we've got a philosopher who was also a physicist, a poet who was a mathematician, and a scholar who wrote a book called Paradise of Wisdom.
Yeah.
It is like a who's who of brilliant minds.
It is. It really is.
Who's up next?
So let's dive into the world of zoology with Ziya-ud-Din al-Damri,
a
remarkable scientist who wrote a famous book called Hayat al-Haywan, or Life of Animals.
Okay, a book about animals. I'm intrigued.
I know, right?
What kind of insights did he offer into
So he went beyond
the life of animals?
Just describing animals.
Okay.
He delved into their anatomy, behavior, and habitats, even classifying different species based on their characteristics.
Okay.
He also explored the world of plants, showcasing his diverse scientific interests.
Yeah.
His work laid the foundation for the development of zoology as a scientific discipline.
It seems like there was no limit to their curiosity. They were true pioneers in so many fields. It's inspiring to see how much they accomplished and how much their work continues to influence us today.
Absolutely.
Okay, give me more. Who else, Jim?
So our booklet then introduces us to Al-Mawardi, a scholar born in Basra. He was a legal expert and political economist with expertise in a variety of subjects, including religion, ethics, literature, and politics.
Wow, that's quite a range of expertise. It seems like these scholars weren't content with specializing in just one area. They wanted to understand the world in all its complexity. What's particularly fascinating about Al-Mawardi's work?
He was a master of synthesizing knowledge from different fields. He believed that true understanding came from seeing the connections between seemingly disparate subjects.
Okay.
For example, he explored the relationship between ethics and politics, arguing that just governance required a strong moral foundation.
Okay.
His work is a testament to the interconnected nature of knowledge that was so prevalent during this time.
It's fascinating how these scholars seamlessly moved between different areas of study, contributing valuable insights to each field. It makes you wonder if our modern emphasis on specialization might be limiting our ability to see the bigger picture.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Perhaps there's something to be said for embracing a more holistic approach to knowledge.
Yeah.
Like the scholars were discussing today.
Yeah. Okay, who else stands out on this booklet I'm eager to hear about?
We have Abdul Qasim al-Zahrawi, known as the Mamun of the West.
Mamun of the West. That sounds like a superhero name.
Yeah.
What kind of groundbreaking work did he do?
So this talented individual was a skilled surgeon and physician who even excelled in dentistry.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of groundbreaking work did he do in surgery and dentistry?
Al-Zahrawi was a true innovator.
Okay.
He invented numerous surgical appliances, many of which were revolutionary for their time. He developed tools for cauterizing wounds, removing bladder stones, and even performing delicate eye surgeries.
Wow.
He also perfected techniques for setting artificial teeth, demonstrating his wide-ranging skills.
Wow.
His contributions to surgery were truly remarkable.
Yeah.
And his work had a lasting impact on the development of medical practice.
These stories are so inspiring. It's like each scientist is building on the work of those who came before them, pushing the boundaries of knowledge further and further.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear about even more of these pioneers.
Okay.
This deep dive is far from over, so it's amazing to think about how this journey through scientific history has brought us from, like, the foundations of mathematics and chemistry to the intricacies of astronomy and the complexities of the human body. But this booklet doesn't stop there. It brings us into the 20th century with two Pakistani scientists, Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan and Dr. Abdul Salam.
Yeah, these two figures really demonstrate that the legacy of scientific achievement continues to this day.
Right.
Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan played a pivotal role in Pakistan's nuclear program.
Okay.
While Dr. Abdul Salam was a theoretical physicist who received the Nobel Prize in 1979.
Wow, a Nobel Prize winner.
I know.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I remember learning a little bit about the fundamental forces of nature in school.
Right.
But it's been a while.
Yeah.
Can you remind us what Dr. Salam's work on the unification of forces was all about?
Well, it's a pretty complex topic.
Okay.
But essentially, Dr. Salam was trying to develop a theory that could explain the fundamental forces of nature.
Okay.
Electromagnetism, the weak force, and the strong force as different aspects of a single unified force.
Right.
This was a major challenge in theoretical physics.
Yeah.
And his work had a profound impact on our understanding of the universe at its most fundamental level.
It's mind-blowing to think about scientists tackling questions
I know.
about the very fabric of reality. It makes our everyday problems seem pretty insignificant.
Right.
What I find particularly fascinating is that this booklet connects these 20th century scientists back to that rich history of Muslim scientists we've been discussing. It's like a continuous thread through time.
It is, yeah. It's a powerful reminder that scientific progress is a collaborative effort.
Right.
A global endeavor that spans centuries and cultures.
Yeah.
The work of these Muslim scientists, both from the past and the present, challenges the often Eurocentric narrative of scientific history.
That's such an important point.
Sure.
It's like we're expanding our understanding of how knowledge has been created and shared throughout history.
Right.
Recognizing the contributions of those who may have been overlooked.
Exactly. And it highlights the importance of diversity in science.
Right.
Different perspectives, different approaches, different ways of thinking.
Yeah.
These all contribute to a richer and more complete understanding of the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Muslim scientists and their incredible contributions, what's the key takeaway for our listener? What do you hope they'll walk away with?
Well, I hope you'll gain a deeper appreciation for the rich and diverse history of science, recognizing that progress is built on the contributions of individuals from all cultures and backgrounds. The stories of these Muslim scientists remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is a universal human endeavor.
Right.
And that the quest to understand the world around us is something that connects us all.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the work of these brilliant minds and realizing how much they've shaped our world, from the numbers we use every day to the medical treatments we rely on to the very way we understand the universe. So, to our listener, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions. You never know what fascinating discoveries await you.